No worries. What you eating?
Hmm?
I said, what you eating?
I got a muffin
Hell
along
yeah.
with like a fucking like a sourdough breakfast muffin with some meat and some tzatziki dip.
Hell yeah, dude. That's a good breakfast right there. Let's go. Nice. Man. So that was one of the questions I was actually going to ask you, if you have a special diet that you eat, since I don't
Okay.
really know.
Mm, so I we can spend longer than an hour. I'm not going to cap it off at an hour or anything like that. But and I thank you very much. Life's been a little bit difficult, so you definitely got my attention. But I wanted to say, yeah, my diet has been. I prefer. There's the Garden of Life brand. There's the meal replacement shake, the shake mix meal replacement. There's a protein mixture. There's one that is both like, that's got like milk product and one that does not have milk product, depending on whatever you want. And then there's another one that is like a protein plus, and then
Oh,
there's an like for like lifting for like bodybuilders, and then there's another one that's a recovery, and then there's mushroom powders like reishi and lion reishi. I believe cordyceps helps increase the oxygen content in your blood so that
oh,
you're like feeling better on that level. Things can flow better on that level. Lion's mane literally regrows brain cells, and this stuff you can buy literally on the it's on the market. You can find it online. Lion's mane like will literally regrow brain cells, and within a month of taking lion's mane, if you're taking enough of it, you will start to remember things that you had forgotten. You thought you'd permanently forgotten these things. You,
I
um,
definitely need some of that, dude.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, for real,
yeah.
and and so I literally use all of this in a combination of my preferred. I haven't been able to do this for a while, but I ate this, I drank this, I had this for years as part of my diet, and morning and evening usually, and then one meal of whatever I felt like having in between. And then I mix so with all of those powders, I've mixed in a bit from each of those, and then fruit. And the primary three that I would add in is pomegranate, cantaloupe, and watermelon. Both a mixture of the seed plus the fruit. Is has a Watermelon seeds alone have 32 health benefits to the body.
Wow.
So we're covering mushrooms, we're covering seeds, we're covering fruit. Cantaloupe seeds, man, they can fight away things that they say is incurable. I'll leave it at that. Cantaloupe seeds are powerful, and literally to just grind them up and put them in the shake, like just put them in the blender and let them grind up on their own. If you heat them and put them through a heating process, then there are particular elements in those seeds that are destroyed, and the body's not able to grasp the benefit from them.
Wow.
Um,
So you
yeah,
basically have like a multivitamin type meal regularly that you don't really have to, you just like combine a bunch of stuff and it's all you need.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
dope.
And then Garden of Life, they also have a super greens, so it has something like 30 30 plus super greens, from kale to spinach to baby leaves to all sorts of fucking shit. I ain't gonna fit
Dang.
all that in a salad.
Yeah. Salads could be expensive too, depending, man.
Sometimes they got really good sales. I was able to I was able to buy at one point in my life I was able to drop $500 while they were having
Wow.
a good sale, and that lasted me. Uh, I There was a point there where I that was my primary meal. I didn't have anything else than the shake powders themselves. And so that $500 lasted me. I want to say half a year, roughly
Wow.
speaking.
That's a
Like
good investment.
it really, yeah, it is, man. And it's all the positives to the body and the brain and the blood, and that really helps you studying and learning, developing, growing, clearing out toxins, being more stable. Um, yeah, yeah. If
So
I can afford it, that's what I do.
right. So, you look like a pretty fit guy. Do you do any like exercises or anything like that, like bodybuilding, weightlifting, or is it? What do you do?
Um, so I've never done anything in particular, and I've got comments about my back. So like one dude looked at my back and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're muscular," and I haven't ever got like a really good look at my back, but I look at my back and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I had fucking wings and they were clipped. I could see it right there."
Right.
See if I can,
Yeah,
but
dude. I see the muscle. You're shredded.
essentially. Essentially, like I had this gym coach, and in middle school, and for 3 years straight, every class began with the same thing, and he would be like, "We lift with our legs, not with our back."
Right. Right.
And I learned proper posture essentially, and I've applied the proper posture to my all my working. For instance, like let's say I need to grab something at my foot. I'm not one to do like an hour of fucking exercises every day to be like on point with your question. I'm not going to really apply that, but I do learn yoga, so I can apply like the correct like leg movement and bend forward to pick something up. And so I have my back properly aligned and I'm doing the stretch properly. And so I got that workout. So might as well balance out on the other side, you know?
Right. Yeah,
And honestly,
stretching seems to be very important. I've noticed that since I'm getting up there in age, like I'm getting stiff as hell, dude. Like hard to move.
yes, yes, yes. Stretching, staying active with the body. The working out. There was a period where I did a lot of workout, but I like to utilize like the long sword or other practice or exercises or working.
Longsword.
Yeah. So I got into Western martial arts.
Oh, that's sick.
And like this is not just a wall hanger. This is a $600+ near $700 sword. And this thing you can like literally use it in an actual conflict, and the thing's not going to fall apart. It's not going to break. Like a real blade actually got some flex in that mug.
Wow. Yeah, check that out. Damn. Yeah.
So like
Anybody breaks in your house better watch out.
And it's not a sharp blade. It's blunted,
Yeah,
and I
for
like to
training.
train with it. And I actually had one dude, and I was staying at this one place in New Mexico, and I usually got a blade in my pocket in my pouch on me, like it's more of a spiritual thing than a physical thing. In my scope of reality. And so this dude's practically busting into my room. I don't even know this dude.
Oh
It's
wow.
freaking like midnight. I don't even know what time it is. And like I bust out my knife. So the dude busts out his knife. So I fucking was like, shit, I got a sword. So the dude's trying to come in my room and I'm trying to close the door on him. And so he sees my knife, boom, he busts out his knife. So I jam the door for a moment. I grab my sword, fucking start shoving it, stabbing it out the door because I'm like, it's not sharp. If
Right.
anything, it's going to jab him. He's not going to get cut though. So I'm not really, that's
Right.
an
Just
awesome.
poke them a little bit.
Exactly. So I just
Get them to
stick
go
it out
away.
the door and I was like, pop, 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 like fucking rapid fire. Like you can't grab it. If you tried to grab it, you can't get a hold on it. Like, so
Right.
fuck you. Like,
Was he
and,
like, ah, God?
yeah, the dude got pissed. He was like a Mexicano, like tatted up
Oh,
motherfucker, like just got out of fucking like 4 or 5 plus years of being in the pen, like motherfucker, like legit,
wow.
just got out like I don't know 2 weeks ago. And so after I'm stabbing my sword at the door, the dude grabs a coat rack and he starts shoving the coat rack through the door. And I was just like, okay, this is fucking a stupid joke. And I eventually clapped the door closed and the dude winds up leaving. It's fucking, it's, and then here's the funny part of that story. And then weeks later, the dude has a massive fucking car accident. Okay. I
Oh
did a
wow.
fucking tarot reading for this dude for free, no tip, and took his fucking jokes in stride. Dude, okay. And then the dude pulls this on me. So the dude comes back. So the dude has a massive car accident. He's trying to put his car back together, but the fucking thing's in pieces practically. Like part of the wheels over there, part of the engine's like over there. Like this car does not look repairable to me. And the dude's working on it for where I'm staying. The guy's helping go at night or whatever the case of the morning. The dude's coming and going. And the dude comes in the kitchen and he sees me and he goes, "Don't you ever do that to me again."
Thought you put a
And I was
spell on him
like,
or something.
and in my own head, I'm like, "You're the one that busted it on my room." Which fuck, and
It's like
I was
karma,
real
right?
right. I was respectful and I was kind, let him move on. And then I kept telling this story to people, and somebody was like, "Yo, that was karma." Because of the car accident. And I was like, "Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, I get it."
Hey, that's what he gets. Don't go breaking into your door, man. What the hell? That's awesome. So can we get into a little bit of the more spiritual stuff?
Do it. Let's throw it out. Throw it down.
I went on a deep dive of all your videos, and oh my god, dude, you're
Ooh.
so entertaining. I saw so much cool stuff on there. So I want to first ask about astral travel.
Okay. Astral
So
traveling.
can you take me through like the basics of astral travel? You know, like what it means to you and how you go about doing it, stuff like that.
So, astral traveling is something that I don't give any conscious effort to whatsoever.
Okay.
Mm. What I have learned, and I have learned this after the fact, but let me take you down my journey a little bit.
Okay.
So, astral travel, I have learned every single human does it on the regular and is fully capable of achieving this without effort.
Oh,
Here's
wow.
here's proof of your astral traveling and ability to bilocate. You know what bilocation is?
I don't know.
Okay, so astral travel, when you really get good at astral travel, you could be in two places at once.
Oh,
Your body can be in one place, walking, talking, interacting, and your astral self can be interacting somewhere else. And then your astral self can taper off and talk to multiple people while your human body is moving and doing its thing. And
wow.
this can continue to go on and 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 on, depending on one's ability. So, astral travel is take the word dream and nightmare. Let's take those words, throw them in the trash. They're gone, off to the dump. They're history. What do we
Okay.
call those experiences? Memories, bro. These are memories of our astral traveling.
Oh, okay, I see.
Consciousness never turns off. Consciousness does not need to sleep.
Right. That
So,
hey, that makes sense.
so when the body is in the state of rejuvenation, of repair, because something on earth repairs itself when it's not in use. Any part of nature that when it's not being used is in a state of repair to some degree of some state. It is repairing itself when it's not in activity. So the astral body that animates the physical body, it goes and is active elsewhere. And when it jumps back into the physical body, it brings memory.
Gotcha. So you're sleeping and you are just off in a different you're going somewhere, you're traveling, and then when you wake up, those are all your memories coming back to you.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Hey,
Exactly.
that's pretty sweet, to be honest.
Exactly. Hmm?
See, I had this like I don't know why. I guess just everybody's perspective of it without knowing is like, "Oh, I'm going to go travel over yonder because I have the power to or something." And, what do you think about people who think like that? Is that just
Now, that is very
nonsense?
possible. And
Okay.
this is what has become popularized through the government hidden programs, some of them declassified, MK Ultra and otherwise.
Right.
And so, remote viewing, that's
Yeah.
part of it. Okay, now let's for a moment on the on without getting too in depth on the spiritual side of things. If you want to do anything, you must adhere to divine law and order. There is a code, there is a law to the universe, and if you adhere to this code, this law, everything's clean slate. You could do anything. If you
Okay.
break this fucking law, then you got penalty coming back at you.
Could you go into some of the penalties or like what kind of is the divine law so people would know or is
So to be on point, your heart,
okay.
your heart knows I shouldn't be doing this.
Right. Okay. So do it like
Yeah,
going into like a women's locker room when you're astral projecting, like scummy stuff like that.
that's bad juju, bad
Right.
coming back at you. Exactly.
Gotcha.
Shouldn't be there.
Gotcha.
And so people who do remote viewing specifically for, let's just call them companies,
Right.
okay, they are looking into something, and they have programs and documentaries how people go in and they can look at hidden files and locked
Right.
in. Okay, so people who are astrally projecting and doing this, they are not aware of the divine law and order statues of those circumstances, and so they go and perform those things, and and yes, they succeed, and yes, they get those positive results and make the money in their gig per se, but their physical life meets obstacles and hits up a lot of difficulties that they're like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is this
Mm.
happening? But deep down inside their heart, they know why. They
It's because
know
they
they weren't supposed to be there, but they
right.
needed money more than they would obey their own soul, their own astral body, their own heart.
So you don't astral travel or do you?
Mhm. I do. I astral travel. I don't just bilocate, and there's a word for this. I explained it out to somebody, but I can, okay, I'm not joking, but I can literally be in a million different places, talking to a million different people on a million different conversations, all simultaneously, and I know here now in this conscious state that I'm just giving power and energy for that to happen. I'm just powering it to happen because
That's awesome.
my heart guides the interactions. My heart is like, everything that's ever happened to me is recorded on my heart. So my
That's
heart is like, boom, here's a piece of my heart. And you have a piece of my heart. That means you have access to all the memory of my heart. Therefore, it can replay, resound, do everything it needs, and answer your questions real time better than AI.
awesome. Yeah, hey, thank you. So, have you ever like astral traveled and saw something you weren't supposed to at all or like you're like, "Oh shit, I need to get out of
There
this. This
was
is not
one
good."
moment. There was
Yeah.
one moment, and I was seeing my astral. I was seeing my astral life, like my next life,
Oh, wow.
and I was seeing it as a baby, and it's a dragon. It's a real dragon,
Really
and
quick, does that mean that you believe in reincarnation or is that like
absolutely, oh,
okay.
absolutely,
Okay.
and that the astral body is always existent, and it uses a physical host body to learn a lesson, to gain a perspective, to make an adjustment, whatever the case.
Gotcha.
Clothing.
Yeah. So you said you were being born as a dragon. Is
As a
that in like
dragon.
a different realm than this, or is that in like this realm, or how does that exactly
Different
work?
dimension. Yes,
Different dimension. Okay,
different dimension. Like radio. Like you got AM, FM radio, you got AM, FM, and you could screen between all those channels, and between each one each one has a reality, per se. Not directly relating or to AM, FM, but in that kind of a circumstance. Um,
wow,
and so it's like learning the underwater currents of the ocean. There's rivers and currents in the ocean. It's like learning, once you learn those, shit, you could like drop something here and pick it up over here. You know how it works.
that's
So it's that
awesome.
that kind of a system. And so I started talking to my baby, like my younger dragon self, and right away it came into my mind, no, 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 you can't do that, you can't do that, stop, 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 stop. And I was like, oh, my bad. They were like, yeah, 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 just go ahead and cut transmission. Like you can't be talking to your future self like that. It's you can fuck some shit up. I was like, oh, my bad. Okay. They were like, it's okay, just you good. It's like,
Don't
okay.
do it again, right?
Right, exactly. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, my bad. I didn't
So it
know.
must be kind of hard to not like be tempted by stuff like that when you come across it because it's like so, profound. You're like, I want to know more, but then you're just like, I can't do it because the consequences wouldn't be worth it. And
Exactly.
are there risks of you like ruining it like for yourself if you go through with it? Like if you make the wrong decision, right? Could that
Yeah.
outcome no longer be a possibility because you saw it already?
So,
I know that's kind of confusing. I'm
not
sorry, but
not necessarily, because it can always be reworked in some form or fashion. Time is no more than a factor is no more than a digit within the equation.
okay,
So not necessarily in some circumstances. Yeah, okay, we get it into the minutia. We could like that could apply absolutely. Though what you bring back to my mind is within the first year of me working with the spirit, working with the divine, my mother, she had passed away, and I was working with her, but I was working with, like, I didn't know who I was working with exactly, but I was like, I was seeing results. So I was like, I'll keep following. It was just within my mind. No drugs, totally sober, all that stuff. And so, like, as I continued to follow, um there was this one moment within the first year, and I did something selfish, something that I purely wanted, that I was not told to do, was within my capability, but I was not instructed to do this, and it was a pure selfish, and I was told to do something, and I fucking played around with it, like, you know better, but I'm gonna
right,
do this instead to get what I want out of it. And literally, like, all the joy within my life that came into me left.
wow,
And I was like, I'll never fucking do that shit again. And it came back the next day, and it was like, now you know. Now you
right,
know how valuable this relationship is. And so it got to be like family. You don't want to cross family. You don't the biggest thing you don't want to do with a real family member is lose their trust after you gained it. And
right.
so for me, at this degree of my life, and for the years past, I touch that which I am instructed to do so, and I interact that with what I know I'm supposed to interact with, and everything else I could give a fuck less with. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to mess with it. The
Right.
last time somebody said pray for me, guess what, bro? I prayed for them. And guess who was sent in to fix it? The next morning, they came up to me and said, yo, so and so broke their leg. They need help in the kitchen. You go help
Oh, wow.
me. I was the one who he was the guy. I was fuck. So no, I'll teach you how to pray. You go ask for yourself.
Right.
I'm not interested in getting involved in more than I have
So
to.
you don't know how to fix broken legs or what? That yeah, this is not
interesting interesting fact, I had this event where I was going downhill, and I was on my bicycle. I wound up hitting speed bumps because they were ill
ooh,
placed in the road. The center was not clear, it was offset. I hit the speed bump. I went fucking 10 fucking maybe 15 feet. I think it was 15 feet. I fucking landed head first. I had
ooh.
bicycle tracks on the tire tracks on the back of my down the back of my spine, no joke. um and shit, where was I going with all of that? Something about praying for people. Oh, broken limbs. long I go into the hospital. They take x-rays of my arm. They put my arm in a splint because it's broken. They said broken. They said it's broken. They didn't say fracture. They said broken. Put in this half cast splint. Told me to come
Wow.
back in a couple weeks. I was like, okay. Still went into McDonald's. Still did my job. Still did my shit. Still lived my life. Went back in 2 weeks. They take like 3 x-rays, 5 x-rays. They call me back in, take more x-rays. They call me back in, take more x-rays. I think we're up to 18 x-rays now, and we're
Dang.
like, yo, yeah, what the hell's going on? They said, your arm's not broken, you can take that thing off. Said, doc, but it hurts. He said that's the atrophy, your arm's good. I said, but they said it's broken. They said that's why we took so many x-rays. It's not broken. All right,
Wow.
doc.
That healed
So
quickly.
somehow it healed to the point to where they saw no breakage within 2 weeks' time.
So do you think that
And
has something to do with like your lifestyle?
I think it has to do with my legit lineage. I think there's a lot more to the puzzle, to my life than meets the eye.
Okay.
And there's been some things revealed to me, like legitimately, if we're in person, I within 3 minutes I can align your chakras. You'll completely feel different within 10 minutes, closer to 7 minutes, but within 10 minutes I can activate your chakras if they are off,
Wow.
and have them aligned as well. Um, and that's just through sound. That's without me speaking anything. That's without me going the extra mile. That's just base level working. And so I had these results in the year 2023. I had at least 24 reoccurring results with individuals. People would come in, they would be full of anger, angry, upset. I would perform one of my jams. I like to call them jams because they're rather informal ceremonies. So it stays in. I got a candle going. There's some incense going, and we do the jam. And they literally, as soon as I finished doing the jam, they were happy, bliss, no sense of anger, completely absent. One lady was like, I was gonna go do some other stuff, but now I'm gonna get this sage and I'm gonna go for a walk.
Yep.
And I
Clears
was
that
like in
mind.
the park. And like no drugs, no smoking. I'd put nothing in the water. I'd like she drank nothing. There was she came in and she was like rah 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 rah. And I knew exactly what to do on a spiritual level. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry about that. I said, no, keep the energy. She said, okay. And I read off to the Divine Mother in her protective form, fiery lioness form. And essentially Divine Mother sucked up that kind of raw energy, and the lady was feeling joyful and at bliss because literally all that energy went to the correct source. It wasn't bled from her. It wasn't vampiric in nature. It was like, oh, let's let that funnel to the correct area. And now that it did, the human was at ease, which is what I've discovered the ancients were very aware of. Yes, we channel energy for the divine so that they can have an impact upon our world. However, the current modern structures eliminated the connection with the true authentic divines and implemented the demiurge, hence man himself, as God, because God is very man-like. Ooh, I don't like you. I kill you. Go kill them. I don't like them. Ow, I'm jealous. Why'd you do that? Why'd you leave me? Come back. I created you. You're my people. Why don't you love me? Very man, not godlike at all, not
Right.
creator level at all. And
So,
anyways, yeah.
quick question. So, your lineage, I just want to go back just a little bit. Your lineage, does that come from like ancient Egypt, or where do you come from? And where does I guess I'm trying to figure out where this divine thought originates from.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna connect. Let's go from bloodline to modern, if you will, bloodline to current,
Okay.
and the connection to the ancient there in between. So I directly have Aztec blood in me. I directly have the blood of the conquistador Cortez in me, and I have Cherokee blood in me.
Okay.
So I've got tribal and massacring, conquering. I got those two worlds in me. I had this construct that the Spaniards didn't necessarily come to. Now, they did come and they took a lot of gold and all that stuff. But in some kind of sense, I felt like the Spaniards were hiding a treasure, and that treasure was a bloodline. And I believe that they kept the bloodline of how people refer to Christ, and I just like to call him the dude, is I believe he was the last ascended master. But the story of this Jesus fella that everybody has this picture of is fucking wrong. You might as well call the guy Bob. I talked to his spirit. He likes Bob a lot more than Jesus.
Mm.
He connects with Bob a lot more than fucking Jesus. He was not that guy at all. He believed, he loved, he was ascended master, he helped, he shared, he brought back a lot of teachings from India. Here's something for the podcast. If I didn't answer your question, ask me again. But I read the ancient languages, ancient Indian. So, like, I found a particular divine to connect with. His name is Kubera. So I found the correct. There's mantras, stotras, hymns, songs, ones that lists all their different names, one that lists all their attributes. I forget all the different names,
So
but
is that what, like, when you make a video and you speak a different language, is that what you're speaking right there?
yes, like
Okay. I was wondering, I was going to ask you about that if you're just multilingual or what was
from
going on.
from ancient Egyptian to Sumerian to Mesopotamian to Japanese to Chinese to Indian. I read them. I don't speak them so much. There's some that I can recite off the top of my head. Ani mani mane mamane sharashiri ti shami shabi tai santa mokude. This is the blue lotus mantra. So there's some I can recite, but I can't like fluidly speak these languages. But these are blessings. These are ancient blessings. I know how to look them up. I know how to find them essentially, and they're ancient blessings that have been utilized on the most part for more than 3,000 years in ceremonies and temples. So these are words that have been built up with power. So when they are recited, ah, that
So it doesn't matter that you don't speak it. It's about the power that's ingrained in the words that's coming through when you speak it, basically.
yep, coupled with my own heart energy.
That makes sense. I like that. That's
And
awesome.
so what that winds up doing is it's not so much summoning something, but it's like we are electromagnetic beings. So if we
Right.
harmonize to the correct polarity, then we're naturally going to be attracted to the other end. We get what we want. There was no work in between, and that's exactly how I found it works. And so it's interesting to speak these ancient blessings and to have people in the chat comments make fun of me of all sorts of things and say that I'm on meth because of what I am reading, of which is an ancient language and has great meaning to all of what I'm saying. They are legitimate words from other languages, and they'll get on saying just like they did in the dude's time and busted in the morning, oh, they're talking in tongues, they're all drunk.
I was gonna ask you about that because I stumbled across your video and I was like, dude, this guy is epic. I didn't have a single thought of hate in my soul, but you go to the comments and everybody's just hating, man. So I'm like, how do you handle dealing with these haters? Do you just let it flow through you and just it doesn't matter? Karma's gonna you know, get involved, or
So
what do you think about that?
so so number one, Instagram are some hater motherfuckers.
Yeah, dude, it's
I
bad.
I went viral first on TikTok.
Oh, really?
Yeah, TikTok, they're lovers, bro. I got a 4
Dude,
million
yeah,
plus video on TikTok, and on Instagram, it's a different video and it's 1
yeah,
million plus. So
right.
cross platform, I am a multimillionaire.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Congratulations.
um,
Popular.
So thank you. So how do I get past all the negative comments? Okay. Uh Little explanation. Let's try to stay on focus here. So there is three forms of magic. That's all there is, bro. There's three forms. There's low, medium, high. That's all you
Okay.
got. Low is color and subliminal. So
Color
a message
subliminal.
within a message, audio, songs, that kind of stuff. The second level is telepathic. You raise your vibration enough, you get within somebody's zone, you match their frequency, their vibration, and you're doing what the other person is thinking or vice versa. And you're like, how are we saying each other's same words? How are we doing what each other wants? Because telepathic communication is actually happening. It happens naturally. Astral travel, natural shit. Telepathic communication, natural shit. You don't control it. You allow it to happen. You allow it to flow. You take off the pressure that you've been applying to life, to your spirit, and you just let it flow. And you learn how to follow the flow rather than try to control the whole river. And so that's telepathic communication number two. And then number three is the words of power.
Words of
Speaking
power.
words, legitimate words, speaking words of power. Anybody can work level 1 and 2, nothing needed. Level 3, you better be correctly, divinely approved. And if you're not, then when you try to speak the words of power, you're going to get kickback. It's going to fuck up your life in a multitude of ways. I seen it, heard it firsthand from motherfuckers going through it. And I'm like, I already knew what they were doing because I could already see their heart and what they've been lining up in their own actions. So that's on them. I did not give no support to that erroneous behavior.
Right.
And so that's not on me. That's their dealing. But and so there was a moment within the past week, I want to say within the past 7 days, legitimately, and I was the stuff, especially from Instagram, was really getting to me. It was really bogging me down. The comments were pretty on the south end of things, and and then I started to think about it, and I was like, sticks and stones would break my bones, and then I stopped, and I was like, words are power, and then I was like, I'm speaking words of power. And then I was like, they're speaking such a low vibration of hatred and disliking. And I was like, bring the fucking shit on, man. It takes them time to write that shit. They have to be present and hear the shit coming out my mouth. And I have worked for years to be a master at power, literally changing a person's destiny at me just speaking. So let's go, bro. Your words versus mine. I'll take on
Right.
the challenge. And my love is intact because as much as you want to, not you, but them, as much as
Right.
it flipped me, and I was like, as much as I made a video on this specifically, and I was like, as much as you may want to condemn me, shoot, you're king, you're righteous king of the religion you proclaim, and you say Jesus is Lord and King on all. Well, he told you two big things. He said, love your neighbor. That's the biggest commandment of all. And he
Yep.
also said, don't judge lest you be judged.
Hey. Yeah. I like that, man. So you basically they're low vibration. It doesn't matter. You use their energy and you bring it back to make it more positive. Just recycling the bad energy, right? That type
It's
of thing.
like literally like in this in the past I would have agreed in saying recycling the energy,
Hmm.
like cleaning it up and reusing it, yes. But at this particular juncture, on
Hmm.
because to have this many people viewing me and to
Right.
like go from a majority of liking to a majority of really kind of like haters, it had me, I had to take on another perspective, another looking at that. And so now, especially, but I mean, it applies on TikTok at times too. When I see a negative comment, I literally scroll over it.
Right.
I literally
Don't
don't
have
even
time for
care
that.
about it. Don't have time for it. Not my interest. It's a low
Yep.
vibration. It has so little vibration that I don't even see it to remember it. I already got what it's about. Now, some I've read, and it was a bad comment. It was not nice in my favor at any regard. I could read sarcasm and ugliness all over it. But it
Yeah.
was so damn original, bro. I put a fucking heart and I was like, "Thank you. That is a fucking original comment."
Yeah, some of the hate comments, they make you laugh, but you're like, "Damn."
I take
Dang
it.
it.
I take it.
Yeah. No, I get that completely. Um,
So,
I wanted to ask, go back just a little bit, when you were talking about, how you used your tunes, right, to help these people. Is that something that you could do online for your followers, like in, or do you have to be in person for stuff like that? Because I feel like
okay.
that could be a good service for you to have to like help out your followers, do tunes and stuff like that.
Okay, yes, on a multitude of platforms, yes, and technically have three phones. I'm doing
Wow.
this is on a TikTok right now, at least shooting from my angle and can hear you obviously.
Okay.
But and then I've got a third phone. I could even do YouTube live as well. But I need tripods. I really need tripods. Um,
Dude, I'll send you a tripod for real.
Shoot, I'll give you my address. That'd be fucking awesome. That because right now I literally have a stack of books. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's that speaker. 10, 11, 12, 13. That I have 12
Dang.
stacks of books and a speaker on top and a speaker on the back to hold up the two phones in front of me right now.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? So, hey,
Exactly.
you're making it work.
Pyramids. I'm watching all these pyramids on TV, wide base, a little
Hey,
bit smaller, a little bit smaller, keep staying
right.
focused, keep it centered. Shit, I stack it. I'm building my pyramid.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. Um, what one of your videos you mentioned like braided bands on
Yeah.
every appendage, like your wrists, your ankles, your belt line. Like, what is the significance of that exactly?
Oh man.
Is that
Okay,
too
so that's a
complicated of a question?
that's a great question.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like all the way around. I would show it, but I think I'd have to stand on this chair to show it. But I got it around my waist. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I got this. It was way back in 2012. It was right where my life was getting fucked up. My mom had passed away. My wife didn't want me in the life and kind of and ousted me. And so she had my two daughters. I just lost every friend. Nobody in the religion wants to have anything to do with me. And I see this face in the middle
Wow.
of the night. And I hear this voice talking to me, not external, but internal. And I'm around a bunch of other people, and they're throwing this huge party for me. And I start following the spirit. And anyways, it led to a 3-day event. And on the third day, on the wall, I had drawn a large figure eight, a black figure eight. On another wall, I did an intricate painting. And on this wall, I did just the figure eight. When I stepped back, I look at the figure eight. In my life, it said, when you lay that down, when you lay the eight down, your life will be smooth. I, it'll be done. It'll be done. Like, everything will be smooth from then on out. Like, you won't have any worries. And I was like, shit, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
And so I kind of forgot about that over the years, but I've always kind of paid attention to any significance of laying an eight down. Obviously, it means the infinity symbol, but the fuck do I think when I lay infinity down? What the fuck you mean? Yeah.
Right.
Um, So essentially, 13 years later, I connected how the infinity symbol is legitimately shorthand verbiage for the ribbon.
Okay.
And the ribbon is tying around the wrist on Hindu understanding for protection. Particular each wrist is particular, whether you're male or female or some shit like that, whatever the case. And I had walked into the Hindu. I had walked into the Hindu temple before this realization, or no, yeah. Oh, it was. Okay. Well, anyways, I had this realization and everything, and I was like, oh, the ribbon, the significance of the ribbon is huge, like as far as being identified, as far as like you see a group of people and they're all dressed in like pads and a football uniform as a football team, right?
Right.
You see somebody like me and you're like, what the fuck is that? Well, if my sky cousins showed up, they'd be like, brother, what's up? If
Yeah.
there was anybody in the world and they had any ounce of tribal history under their belt, real tribal history, not museum shit, but real tribal history under their belt, they'd look at me and they'd be like, brother, what's up? I just
Right.
talked to somebody literally 2 days ago. They're in Hawaii. They said what they said in their verbiage of their native tongue, and they said it translates to until I see you next time. And I said, that's funny. At the end of all of my videos, I say Donna de Gawai. And essentially, I think it's Cherokee, but I could be wrong. But it's definitely a native tribal language to the Americas. And Donna de Gawai means until I see you next time. Literally, in a
That's
different
awesome.
tongue from different part of the world, we're saying the exact same thing.
All
That's
connected.
tribal. That's tribal. And
That's
tribal
awesome.
recognizes tribal. So like, yeah. So the ribbons were like a solidification of joining that tribal life. And funny thing was after I had done this and tied the things on my arms and everything, I walked into a Hindu temple and I'm trying to look Egyptian, bro. They got armbands and shit. I'm trying to look Egyptian. And I walk into this Hindu temple and they're calling me Shiva. They're saying I look like a Hindu god,
Oh.
and I was trying to look Egyptian. Tribal knows no difference. Tribal recognizes tribal.
So did anything cut like so you walked in there and they were like, they're like, God, 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 or like what was going on?
This happened over a course of time, but like people would come up to me and they would ask me, they would be like, "Dude, why are you dressed like that?" And I'd be like, this is how the Divine Mother outfitted me. This is how she's like got me together. Right now, I don't have a roof over my head, and this is what I'm wearing every day. And I have a little change here and a little change there, and this little addition there, and this is what I'm wearing now. And they'd be like, that's interesting. You look like Shiva. And so, like, all the way to the point to where in another situation at that same temple, this priest comes over to me and he asks to see a particular pendant, this one, and it's Egyptian. It's actually from
Wow.
Egypt, and he asked to look at it, and I showed it to him, and he points over to the other priest, and he goes, bro, doesn't he didn't say bro, but he said, doesn't he look like Shiva? And to the other priest, one priest to the other said this about me. And so I
Wow.
started looking up Shiva and who Shiva was. And I was like, yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, that's what I love. That's my nature. I was like, I had a lot of similarities with Shiva. And essentially, Shiva, Osiris, which is Al-Sad on the Egyptian side. Osiris is a Greek name for Al-Sad. Anyways, Shiva, Osiris, Hiru, Ra. I mean, like all of these figures and God, like all of these figures and entities fall within the grasp of the same being.
Wow.
And it is true that what happened was the original creators, they went from place to place to place around the world, and they did not impose their own name, but they accepted the culture of the people, and they dressed in their clothes, and they accepted what the people called them, and they walked amongst the people as one of them, not trying to impose how to live life, but accepting them for who they were and helping them learn how. Here's a helpful way of how to live life. Here's how to farm better. Here's some stone structures. So now you keep a calendar system. When the light hits there, make sure you plant your seeds. When the light hits there, make sure you do that. And see ya, bye. They gave them abilities to be living freely without control.
That's awesome. Man, it seems like you've been through a lot of, tough times in your life and stuff like that. So it's super like it's so admirable that you've come this far and you're doing so much better now that you have this in your life and you just seem so wise. So, I'm sorry that your mother passed away and all that stuff. So that stuff is hard to get through. So that's awesome.
I'll put it this way. I saw my mother and my daughters ascend. No drugs, no mushrooms, no nothing. I saw them ascend with my third eye through those pearly gates, if you want to put it like that, and is acceptable. And to see any family member like pass through there, like there's no pain. There's no pain. Like you see that, it's for your daughter, for anybody you love. You'll be good. I'm
Right.
good
Yeah. You're
at this
reassured
point.
that they're okay,
Oh
basically.
god, like in a multitude of ways. In a multi Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Like
since you believe in reincarnation, have you ever like encountered something that you're like, that could have been, like my mom or something reaching out to me to, say I'm okay or anything like
so
that? Or
so this is why I wear bells. And I got
okay,
bells around me. If I go out like in public, I got like loud bells on me. And because there's this one time I was talking to somebody and we were just having a chat and a walk, and all of a sudden within my own mind I start hearing like all this chattering, like you're in a room full of people. And like I forgot how it started, but I was like, I sensed my mother's presence, and I was like, "Mom," and she was like, "Yeah, it's me, son." And I was like, "Whoa, where you been?" Because I would have chats with her every now and then, and she'd be like, and just side point, if you ever have one of these experiences and it's authentic, you will not see their face
really?
because yeah, because astrally they've changed, they've entered another body. They've become something else. And
Okay,
if you feel their energy and are talking with that conscious energy and you see a different face attached to it, their real face, which is what you'll wind up seeing, it'll fuck you up.
that
And
makes
so
sense.
that's just not even allowed. Like I went
So
through
you're
my own
basically, sorry to interrupt,
no,
but you're
go
basically
ahead.
like seeing their energy, like their real form outside of the human body, and you're like, that's too profound for me to see at this point in time.
Boom. Boom.
Gotcha.
Exactly. So we wind up seeing the lower half like a mock image of their past lower half, like clothed, and so that experience like happens. Um, and I don't know where I was going, but I had my own experience with my mom, and it was in my head. It was like my head was next to her head. I gravitated next to her body. I wrapped my arms around her, and within my mind, it was I knew within my mind. I was told within my mind in this experience. I was my body was physically sleeping, but this was actually happening, and my head was next to her head, and in my mind, I was told, it said, when I pull my head away and try to look at her, that it's gonna be over. And I couldn't wait any longer. I couldn't hold on any longer. Like I had to see my mom. I knew it was her and everything. I pulled my head away, and as my head's pulling away, practically I see like her hair, and boom, I literally woke up.
Wow. That's incredible. I bet that was
Yeah.
hard, huh? Hard
That
or
was
reassuring?
That
One of the
was at the very, very beginning before I studied, knew anything, wrote a book, anything, before I got into anything.
so you didn't really know what was going on with that
I
at the time.
didn't, I didn't. And then years later, like not too many years later, but some years later, there's this particular movie. It's a Japanese or Chinese movie, and it's a subtitle movie. And I don't normally read subtitle movies, but it seemed pretty interesting. And I started watching it, and the dude winds up dying, and he goes like to the other side, and he's able to have one interaction connect. It's all about his spirit, his self journeying, and being like going between the 10 judges on the other side, or however the Chinese system sees it to occur. And so on these travels between the judges, he's able to have one experience with anybody he chooses. So he visits his mother in a dream or some shit like that, and his mother like has this experience or however all that goes down. And I was just like, it like, I don't want to say, yeah, it like broke my heart because I was like, I went through
Yeah.
that exact fucking thing, and that makes sense. In movies, they put a lot of truth out there, and that would make sense following the Chinese or Japanese, and they're really fucking close on their histories as far as their spiritual, tribal natures. I just like to point out, and so to know that they have that particular understanding, I was like, boom. What I went through, that shit was real. That was real, and that was her one account. She moved on, and she got to have one experience with somebody on this planet, and she came and visited my ass. I was like,
That's awesome, dude.
yeah,
That's incredible.
yeah, yeah.
I do notice that you watch a lot of movies in your
hmm
videos. I'm like, what can I just get a quick what's your favorite movies to watch list?
Oh, okay. When you asked my favorite movie to watch, you asked it differently than anybody ever asked it, so you get a different answer.
Okay.
There's the cartoon movie Curious George, where Will Ferrell does the voice
Okay.
of the monk of Ted,
Right.
and that is my favoriteest movie to watch, and I'm gonna watch that later tonight. And it just it always brings me joy, and George makes me think of myself when I was a kid, and really, like, I guess I never thought about it, but just in the moment, the yellow makes me think of the sun makes me think of Rob, the divine father. So it's like the divine father's teaching the young human, the young earthling, from complete innocence and curiosity of how to be like, yo, we're gonna make some stuff together. Like, it's just, and then at the end of the movie, uh, fucking the rocket, there's a rocket, and at the rocket start, the engines are rumbling, and Ted looks over to the scientist, and he's like, "You didn't really put real fuel in the rocket, did you?" And the scientist is like, "Well, there was empty gas tanks. What was I supposed to do?" And like Ted is running after George, and they're like in space, circling the Earth, and he's like, only till 8 o'clock because we got to go to bed.
Dang, I'm gonna have to watch it. I've never seen it before.
It's great. It's cute. It's innocent. It grabs your heart. There's this one portion where like Ted is being a bastard because at first it's cool and cute, and then George is like pissing off Ted because he loses his job and he loses his home and loses everything, and he's just
Wow.
totally, yeah, he's totally pissed off at George, and he gets. I'm sorry, I'm giving so much of the movie
No,
away,
it's good. I love
but
it.
okay, cool. But he fucking calls animal control on George.
Oh,
They Yeah, dude, they show up and they take George away, and everything goes down, and it comes back, and then like George is somehow gets a hold of all these balloons, and he's going up, 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 and like they bust, and he's falling, and somehow Ted reaches out and grabs him by the hand, and George looks up with these eyes, and Ted's like, "Yo, I got you, man." And it's just like it just grabs my heart every time I watch that particular scene, and it's like that's how life is. That's how life feels for me, is living on miracles. Like, I don't see Father around much, and Father's busy doing other stuff on a divine level, but damn, when I need him, he swoops in and he's right there. I don't know where he came from, but just like, whoop, he fixed it and made it happen. I was screwed on rent for I didn't know how it's going to be like in the next week coming up. And literally just yesterday, last night, a solution came through that was literally, I'm referring it to as a curveball from the universe, because they literally threw me this blessing. I saw it coming at me, but it literally went out of my sight of view. It was like, shit's not happening on my end. I was like, I give up on it. Fuck it. Let me try elsewise. Let me try to make something else happen. That's
Mm.
not going down anymore. And then fucking 2 weeks late, but somebody else saved my ass for these 2 weeks. And they came fucking back around. It was like, boom, I got you, bro. Don't worry about it. Fucking money's in the account. Rent money's there. I'm like,
Thank God. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Just
so
like, you
it's
gotta just trust in the process that everything's gonna be all right, and then if you like will it to be, then it's gonna happen.
exactly,
That's
exactly. And then this happened, and I kind of apologize on one spectrum of things, but on another spectrum of things, it's appropriate because I was doing a lot of stuff for free and making videos for people and birthday videos and shout out videos. And I
right.
was happy to do that for a while, but it was starting to irritate me because, like, boom, 10 in a fucking day. Like, now I'm saying happy birthday, John Michael Susie Chan. What the fuck is that, man? And I don't
Yeah.
got time to make like 10 fucking videos. I'm not going to say the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And so like it started irritating me and I stopped doing it. And then a lot of people were asking me stupid shit. And I'm just like, all right, I'm just not dealing with that shit at all. And then it
Right.
got to the point where rent was the way it was, and you were like, yo, I could help you out with $50. I was like, fuck, thank you. Yes, okay, I'll tell you. Tell me when. I'm good to go. Thank you, bro.
Right. Well, dude, you gotta. It's your time. You know, you can't. As much as it
You got it.
sucks, you wish you had infinite time to help everybody out, but like you gotta get your bread. I mean, that's the way the world works right now. Is if you ain't got money, you don't survive. So
Boom.
I understand completely, dude. Yeah, you gotta
But
get your.
on a complete reversal and wonderful thing, that one I showed you earlier is to Kubera, and I've been reading to Kubera, and Kubera is essentially the master of wealth, and Kubera is pretty awesome. He's got a pomegranate he's holding in one of those hands, and so boom, he's got his pomegranate, and then he's got this little sack of coins over his shoulder. And I thought that, yeah, right. And
Hell
I
yeah,
thought
dude.
he was like Buddha. And but when I got him from where I got him from, it was a special place, and I like getting stuff like this from his place. And I got it. It was only $2 too. I was like, shit, throw
That's a
that
pretty good
down.
deal.
Right. And so I started learning about Kubera, and I had bought the pomegranate. I wasn't going to buy the pomegranate, and as I'm checking out with it, I they rung up as $3.40 something. I was like, I'm not paying the fucking. And in my head, it said, "You get the pomegranate," and I was like, "Okay, I don't care how much it costs. I'll take the pomegranate." And so literally, I had that piece that was there, and then through one thing, and a dude gave me a particular coin that had this image on it. That one.
Okay.
And so when you add those numbers, so I put that image in, put those numbers on and explained it on Google, and it said it was to Kubera, and I was like, Kubera. And so I looked up on him, said he was this demon, but he decided to use his gifts, his powers for humanity and for like good.
Huh.
And so he was deformed in shape because he was born as a demon, and but he was doing all this good for humanity, and people making fun of him because his disfigured shape and because of his fucking pot, because of his pot shaped belly, and he goes to Shiva, essentially God, and he's like, "Yo, Shiva, like they're making fun of me, and I've been helping them. Can you help me out?" And she was like, "You know what, bro? I'm gonna make you the god of wealth. You be the master of wealth." So all coinage, all that stuff, it flows through you. So essentially, like everybody stopped making fun of him because you want to be rich. You better appreciate this motherfucker. If not, he gonna like you ain't gonna get nothing. Saying
Right.
he was saying he was demon means he was very human. He had low vibrational connections. He's very human, but he decided to change and to use those things for so he could tap into those lower vibration frequencies to get something done, or he could move to divine frequencies to get something done. Anyways, I got his piece. I got the pomegranate. There's another item I can't think of. I become aware of them because of the coin. Oh, I had the coin. I look up the information on the coin. It shows a picture of him. I go look at the little Buddha piece I had, and I was like, he's holding the fucking pomegranate I just read about.
That's
And he's
crazy.
got the sack of coins over his shoulder. And I'm like, I got the fucking pomegranate on the
It all
fucking altar.
connects.
Yo! I'm like, and the coin's right there. I'm like, okay, let me look up this shit on him. So I looked up this stuff and I looked up his stuff. I wrote it out. I got him. I set the stuff up as you know to align his energy, and I've been focusing on him every single day. And then all of a sudden, boom, that's taken care of. I make it to May, and I got a roof over my head indefinitely along with food. I don't have to be asking for that. I got the
Oh,
easies taken care of. I help somebody with their housework around the house. Boom, boom. We pretty groovy. So like life's
nice.
pretty yeah, exactly.
It's
So
gonna be
like
good, bro.
and then yourself and so like really like calling out to Kuberas like boom he heard me and he's like "Whoa," all into my hands just in one moment like that.
That's awesome.
Yo yeah.
So you were talking about the significance of numbers, and I couldn't help. You made a video where you mentioned the significance of Three Eye Atlas and January 8th at 2025, right at 11:11, and I'm like, first of all, January 8th is my birthday, so I was like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? So I was like, and you said something about new energy of love that will not be dominated or bullied. That's exactly what you said. And I was like, huh. And to be fair, on my birthday, I did not get dominated or bullied. So thank you for that.
That's
so,
cool as shit. That's
so maybe we're connected on some like astral level or something. I don't know. Some energy.
I I agree. I massively agree on that level. And just real quick to people on TikTok, if you don't know, I'm doing an interview with somebody, and so I just have y'all listening on to all of this. Back to yourself, and I have to ask at this point, and I apologize. I'm looking all over the screen right now. What is your name again?
Like my real name or my
However
Instagram?
you want to go by is cool.
Blur cosplay. Blur
Blur,
cosplays.
Blur.
Yeah.
Actually, Blur is cool because I've known a couple of awesome gentlemen who have helped me along my journey, and their name was Blair. So
Oh,
Blur, Blair, it's not too far off from each other.
right.
um, but Blur, what was your last question? I apologize.
Oh, I was just commenting about how like my birthday is on January 8th,
Oh,
and you made that video.
okay. So our energy is definitely connected. When I made that particular video, the energy just came into me to make it and to say that specifically. And
Okay.
it was like the correct, and it's funny because I had people later that day coming to me and they're like, nothing happened at 11:11. And I was like, if you actually pay attention to that video at the very beginning, I said to the leaders, are you a leader of a secret organization? Because if you are, I think you're a fucking moron for talking to me on this platform like you are.
Right.
I you failed everything. You failed the test. You failed every like. Anyways,
Really
and
quick, the
yeah,
secret
go ahead.
organizations are those like the Freemasons and like who are these secret organizations? just real quick.
Some of them that I'm talking to don't even have 3 letters before their name. And all
Okay.
the other ones do have all those letters before their name. And they work in the dark and they work in their black ops programs. And essentially, to be quite blunt, these organizations that are plain out known these days for the most part of their existence, these do you okay you remember do you know Alexander the Great?
Yeah.
He conquered most of the damn known world, fucking dies too soon and leaves, and so they divvy up his kingdom between 4 generals.
Hmm.
Okay. So, fuck. Bring me back to where we were.
Uh, just the secret organizations and like
Thank you.
the
So,
significance of January
so
8th.
what happened was Tutankhamun was killed. He was the last of the royal bloodline. So that allowed the priests to take over because there's nobody else in charge. The priests got to become the ones in charge. They had the documents for the ceremonies, and
Mhm.
thus the power shifted to them, and they became filthy fucking rich and in control of essentially the nation and the world in the magic they knew how to operate. These are the priests that became the secret leaders of every single secret organization, which essentially dictates to political and religious organizations alike on what they should be doing,
Okay.
including countries that are warring with each other. Everything is fucking staged from their direction,
Gotcha. Okay.
and they're the ones I'm talking to.
So, so on January 8th,
Ultimately.
you mentioned Three Eye Atlas. What does Three Eye Atlas mean to you exactly? Is that
So
significant?
I did mention it in one video, and but I'm happy to mention it again.
Okay.
So let's just look at the name itself. Number one, it practically did a dance around our galaxy, checked out every fucking thing in our solar. What fuck? I get the words mixed up. I'm so sorry. It visited practically every planet and
Mhm.
did a wave by on Earth on the way out and dropped off something that drifted towards Earth, but they never talked about what that was or how far it got or anything. They never followed up with information on that. But it does all this weird ass shit, defying gravitational pull and everything. And they call it Three Eye Atlas. Now, number one, when I hear Atlas, I think of the world. Yeah,
Right.
right? Atlas, Atlas of the world. Right. Okay. So Earth, full Earth. We got eye, eyes indicate watching, seeing. We are aware of the
Okay.
world. And three. And Tesla was all over 3693. The Divine Mother has this Egyptian chair, and on the Egyptian archaeological side, they have no clue what this three-seated chair represents. But if you would just be so kind to go look at India or even maybe North Scandinavia area and do just a little bit of research, you're going to see that those 3 chairs represent a throne in heaven, a throne on earth, and a throne in the underworld, the Duat. And there is essentially the Duat is the inner earth. You have the round earth on the outside, and when you go onto the inner earth, there's many layers within the earth that one must travel through, or not must, but that can travel through. And you must know everybody you traveling through. You must be like family, like, what's up, bro? Or else,
Right.
like, you're not getting through their level.
Gotcha.
Um, and when one travels through there, they're doing so more so astrally because any higher civilization is going to communicate telepathically. They're not going to start off with physical words. If you're still dealing with physical words and I can't talk to you with my mind only, you ain't on my vibe, you ain't on my level. You still need to learn some shit before we get close.
Right. So you think So I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but you
No,
think
do it, do it,
that
do it.
Three Eye Atlas is kind of like this higher beings that are coming to watch us, basically
Yeah, they were dropping off some stuff,
dropping
and
off. Okay,
yeah, like put it into the atmosphere. A spirit. The Egyptians were like, your heart must be lighter than a feather, so your soul must be weightless. Well, a
gotcha.
weightless soul can be injected into water, can be put into some rock, can be
So
dropped
they
through
were
space.
injecting themselves into Earth, basically.
Exactly. And there's
Okay,
souls on the planet. Babies being born. There ain't no soul attached to it. It's just physical body. Soul comes in. Flop. It's going to grow up and live out its life.
wow.
Yep. And when it dies, it's going home. It's not staying on Earth. It's going home where it's supposed to go. It's got its own ticket home.
So now would you think that maybe that's what happens with us then? So we are kind of like that's happening all the time. It's not just a Three Eye Atlas thing. It's just like all the time we're just coming to Earth and leaving Earth, that type of thing.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
and this is how we're doing it. And if somebody's aware, then it can happen. Like, for instance, one does not need to kill themselves to catch the train out. What
Right.
I was connected with was for essentially while 3i Atlas was around and while it was leaving, to really be in your own happy, to be in your zone and connect as much as you can and to send that frequency out as strong as you can. Portal work or whatever. And so then around the time the 3A Atlas was exiting, there's a portion in one of my mantras in one of the ancient Egyptian things that I read, and it stated that the heart ascends before the body does. And I
Okay.
was like, this makes so much sense. And so what was going on was like the soul, the heart, was attaching itself to 3i Atlas, and 3i Atlas is essentially like going to home planet, if you will, so that the soul, like when the body dies, it'll just like ascend. It'll naturally go to 3i Atlas and jump off at the correct stop when it gets there.
Wow. That's awesome. Dang. All right. That makes so much sense because when I first saw the video, I wasn't really sure what was going on, but yeah, thank you for putting that into perspective for me. So,
And specifically on, you're very welcome, and specifically on the January 8th video,
mhm.
again, that video that that was a channeling that I followed to do, and was not just whimsical and was not just in the moment, but it was skillfully put there by the divine and me channeling and just following that instruction. And I do that with certain videos, and I just do it, and boom, it had this connection. And I think that's a big amount of significance. I think your energy is amazing for this coming future. Um, and I could be mistaken, but it might be your generation, or the generation right after you or with you, around you. But last I heard, I personally am excited about y'all's generation, because if I'm not mistaken, y'all were real cool, chill, like not got a problem with nothing. But if somebody starts riling up some crazy shit, y'all gonna be like, pa 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 pa, and then
Right.
you're gonna be like, it's quiet again. Okay, I'm good.
That's great. Oh man. Well, I think I might have to call it here. I mean, I had like this is awesome, dude. Thank you
If
so
you
much.
got more questions, I don't mind answering your questions. You don't need to throw anything else my way or anything like that. I ain't tripping one bit.
Okay.
I'd be happy to answer your questions if you want to shoot them out super fast and have me
Yeah.
answer them super fast. However, I can easily get distracted and turn it into a 5 hour
No,
conversation.
dude, trust me. I love it. I love hearing everything you have to say. I one of the questions I had was you one of your most viral videos was when you were talking to women of the world and you told them to fight back. Um, does the Divine Mother basically, I don't know how to word it exactly. Like does she have special love for women in this world, or how exactly, what did you mean by that? Fight back against like the secret organizations, or is it
So when I made that video, okay, so number one behind me is the Divine Mother Durga form.
okay?
On the Egyptian side, she's a lioness, and she's very protective.
Okay.
I've been hearing, and obviously, as many of us are aware, I won't use names or whatever the case, but certain files being released and the bad activity with younger ones going on in the world.
Right.
And I had looked at my videos and I'm like, okay, like I've been talking to like essentially dudes, if you will, on the
Mhm.
dude level, and yeah, okay, like obviously, like I've got the response from them, I've chatted with them and everything, and I kind of got to thinking about my mom as well, and I knew I've in one sense I was talking to my mom, in another sense it was like protect the children of the world and stand up for what's correct, man. Like my mom, she talked to me and she taught me what it's like to be like there's a inner woman lingo that women speak with women, and they don't teach this to dudes,
Right.
and my mom shared it with me.
So you got
She
special
shared,
insight, basically.
yeah. So like I channeled that particular insight and I spoke as if I was speaking to my mom, and like, yo, we got to change shit for the better, and that's how that one was birthed out.
So in one of your videos, you say that the women side of the brain is the left side, the male side is the right side. So you basically, through your mother, learned how to channel the left side of your brain to, harness that, or is it more complicated than that?
Okay, on a technicality, I was given access to that. What do I mean
Okay.
given access? Um, in the beginning of my life, I had normal vision. I
Okay.
stared at the sun till I was in my teenager years. Get this one down. Teenager years, I'm staring into the sun. But when I was 5, I went legally blind in my left eye.
Oh, wow.
So I thought it was because I stared at the sun that I went legally blind in my left eye. Because the eye doctor said it was at the age of 5, I think, or somewhere around there, and she said it was like somebody put a needle in the middle of my eye and pulled it out. There was
Ah.
no evidence, there was no splinter, there was no anything. She asked if I ever screamed in pain. I never did. Nothing, no significant injury, nothing ever happened. So they couldn't figure out why or how this happened. And for many years, I thought it was because I stared at the sun. But then I thought about it and I was like, no, I kept staring at the sun till I was fucking like 13 or 14 or 15. And then I was like, oh, it's bad to stare at the sun? Oh shit, I only got one good eye. Stop doing it. So it couldn't have been because of that.
Hmm.
So, but I mention that because when you receive information from one eye, it goes to the other side of the brain. This
Okay.
eye receives
Yeah.
information, goes to that side of the brain. So this left eye, everything's blurry. It's like I'm I know what it is from memory recollection, from association, because I've seen it clearly. So it has that shape, it has that glare. I know what it is, but I cannot see it clearly. I cannot read that shit clearly. I do not know what that is clearly. Peripheral vision more so. Um, and so what I've been able to do on a regular basis is this I sees clearly, so I'm focusing upon my current situation or my current problem. This eye is thinking blurry, so my brain is also, at the same time of focusing on something, my brain is also working on a blurry, this is what I'm working on next. I got a rough vision of what I'm working on next. So as soon as I finish something, I can move the next thing up and be like, okay, now I got a good working on it. Yep, that's what I was thinking. Boom, I just, and so I'm constantly progressing. I'm constantly progressing, constantly progressing.
That's
In
awesome.
my, yeah, yeah, and so in that sense and terminology, I'm accessing that left portion of the brain through meditative techniques that are simply engaged because of the way my eyesight is hardwired. If you go back to it, this has connection. Osiris, Alsod, I think it was Odin, and I think there was a third one, but there was at least those two significant ones, and they were blinded in one eye.
Okay. That
So
makes
I
sense.
Hercules or some motherfucker, I don't know who, maybe not Hercules. I don't think he was blind, but there was definitely the Norse and the Egyptian, and those dudes were blinded in one eye each.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, and I was really like, I was like, I think that has significance as far as being able to reach a meditative state without needing to do like all the meditative work, and it comes through something of that sort of visual adjustment.
That's awesome. Damn.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm getting so much wisdom from you. It's like it's incredible. I'm having so much fun, dude. Um,
cool.
so basically, I guess do you just have a message for the people that might be watching this, like what you want to spread, like just a general message to everybody, how they can like be a better person, I guess, or any life advice to leave the video.
That's I really, everything that I share is to teach is to help enlighten, to help teach people how to be liberated
Liberated. Okay.
and to follow their own heart. There needs to be a new leader in your life, and your heart is the leader. Your heart knows if something is bad, and it knows if something is good. Follow your heart. Stop following people. Learn from people. Pay attention to people. See what stupid is and don't repeat what stupid does.
Right.
And follow your heart. Sometimes it's not the best thing to do, but your heart is telling your flesh, you need this experience so you know never to do this again.
Right. Yeah.
Because in that moment, the punishment is going to be a slap on the wrist. But if you didn't do it that time, and 5 years passed by and that next opportunity popped up, you would have done it then, and you would have done something you can't come back from.
Yeah, it's like learning from your mistakes. You know, you sometimes you get a slap on the wrist and you keep doing it, it just ends up worse and worse and worse, and so
You
that's a
don't
good
learn your
lesson.
lesson.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes it
think
takes learning your lesson a couple times before you get it down, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You got to scrape that knee a few times before you
Yep.
exactly. I'd leave a twofold message. I'd leave that one, and and if somebody does not have kosher energy, do not entangle, don't fight with it, don't have conflict with it, just get away from it.
It's kind of like the comments, you just let it. It's low energy, low vibrations. You just breeze right past it. And you just keep going.
Yep. Yep. Give it no life, give it no support, because I believe that's how we truly affect a new future. I believe that's the ultimate way of how we affect a new future, because they feed off of our energy.
Right. They're like
And if
vampires.
correct, but unknowingly, and it's just the way the world's been set up. And so,
Right.
like, they're a vampire not by choice. And we don't have to kill the vampire, but we have to teach them, look, you want to drink up? These are the rules.
Right.
You follow the rules, you have all you want. You don't follow rules, you out of dodge. And so by everybody just closing that door and not engaging them at all, their life's gonna suck when nothing and no one has anything to do with them, because they can only drink by permission of engaging their activity. So to not engage them revokes the activity. They can't do shit.
Right.
They're gonna suffer all on their own. and so we don't have to do anything to harm them or anything. And that's really kind of how you deal with a child. You starve them out essentially, and as soon as that child's like, okay, I'm sorry, I'll start following the rules. Okay, here's pie again, here's all the good stuff again.
Right, just teaching them basically a lesson, not through violence or anything, just through, you know, not giving them what they want, essentially.
Ex- exactly,
I
exactly,
like that. Yeah.
exactly.
I feel like a lot of these people who are so hateful, right? They're just like they have nothing going on. They're hurt themselves, super low vibration, and then they try to spread that to people online like yourself just to like, get some of any type of energy whatsoever. So
Yep.
that's
Exactly,
awesome,
exactly,
dude.
exactly. And that's really how love is more powerful. Is love is you can't stop it. It keeps coming back. The whole movie of Deadpool, right? That whole couple of films, man. Deadpool, you just no matter what happened to him, he still had that comedy. You just
Right?
couldn't take it out of him, bro.
Kept
That's
going.
my joy.
Yeah. Those are some good movies, huh? I need to rewatch them.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen Deadpool versus Wolverine or whatever? The
Yeah,
newest
yes,
one?
I did. I
What do you
did. That
think
was
about that one?
I as f- I a lot's went on in my life since then, but as far as I can remember, it's a pretty good movie. I liked what they did, the fact that they brought them together, and then I hear they've got the X-Men coming out, and in that movie, Cyclops is going to be in the Avengers movie or whatever the case.
Oh, really?
And
Wow, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Dang.
There's it. I gotta be wrong, or the universe gotta be playing a joke on me because they called it Endgame, and I'm like, I thought they already had Avengers Endgame, and
Huh.
it said Endgame on it, and it showed it was a preview for it, and it had the official everything, and it showed Cyclops. What he's shooting his laser blaster, and I'm like,
What like what the hell's going on here?
I
Damn.
right.
Oh man. So you kind of
So
remind me of Hugh Jackman a little bit because how old are you if you don't mind me asking?
it's cool. I was born in 84, 41.
41. You don't look 41
41.
at all, by
Thank
the
you.
way.
Thank you.
It
Thank
must
you.
be the healthy lifestyle. The Hugh Jackman's all like it. I don't know how old he is, but he's like jacked, and you're also pretty fit for a 40-year-old, I'd assume, at least for American standards.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah.
Give me a correct protein supply and literally like 2 weeks, and I'll be able to I'll be at full functionality. Like right now, like somebody they invited me over, they had me over, they helped me out with some things. They wanted me to help them do some work for them, and they were gonna pay me. But I'm like, I couldn't do shit for them. Like number one, I had just taken some mushrooms, and number two, and number two, like I've been living on ramen noodles for like fucking like
Malnourished.
a month, bro. Right? And this
Right.
dude's like is like not is past my size, well past my size, and I'm like, I ain't got that kind of energy, and my mind is like somewhere way the fuck else.
It's like take me to dinner first, get me a nice meal, and maybe I'll have the energy. If you were
Yeah.
to eat it out, what's your go-to place? If that ever happens, I don't know if you're strict diet or not.
My brain is like, well, I had just got married and I don't have to go out. Anyways, that's my 5 year old coming out of me. But my favorite place to eat, oh man, I haven't been out to eat in a while. Life was something different years ago.
Right.
If I've got a place to go nowadays, where would I want to go? I want to go eat a deep dish pizza. I know of one
Ooh,
restaurant, forget their name, but a Chicago deep dish pizza,
that sounds
the
good.
real thing, not just the fucking thick bread with some sauce and cheese on top. No,
Right. Got
man.
to do it
Like
right.
the pie crust that's just flaky and soft and crunchy, like all the perfect mixture, and then you got like that much freaking like cheese toppings and then like that much cheese and like that much sauce, and you're like, fuck yeah, bro.
You feel like
Pizza
death
wait.
afterwards. You
Yeah.
can't move.
Oh, that
You're
you
right.
know, that's
Yeah.
that's a proper meal.
For real, yeah, you just don't want to do anything. I'm just gonna lie here for like an hour. Hope I feel better afterwards. Oh man. All right, brother. Well, I think I'm gonna have to go. I got some stuff I gotta do. But dude, I thank you so much for talking to me. I had so much fun, and I hope we can stay friends and maybe do this again sometime. So
If you would like to, it looks like my life is reaching a bit of stability. I apologize. I keep looking off in other ways, and I'm like,
no,
camera's
it's
right
all good.
there. Cool. But if you want to do this on like some type of regular weekly basis, twice a week, once a week, whatever the case,
Yeah,
we'll keep chatting, keep messaging me, and I enjoy this. I think this is like positive. I enjoy healthy questions. I enjoy positive experiences in this regard. A lot of people come on and they'll be like, "Bring me onto the live right now," and they'll be like,
yeah,
"Oh well, I didn't think you'd really do it. What's your favorite
right.
color?" Oh my god.
Hopefully, I didn't ask any of those stupid questions
No,
too
you
much.
were awesome. You were like
Okay,
honestly chatting with you, looking at you. I'm thinking teenager, young 20s.
I'm actually
But
almost 30. Isn't that
are
crazy?
you? Okay, then
Yeah.
great. Then that's why I said looking at you. But talking to you and hearing your voice, I'm like, this dude's like my age, if not older. I mean, yeah, his everything's on point. Ta 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 ta. So early 30s. So cool, cool, cool. All right, all right.
I
And so no,
appreciate that, man.
you've asked wonderful questions and things I'm happy to answer. And someone like yourself, I am happy to share as much as I can to help you grow. Whatever you take, whatever you utilize is great, and whatever you don't is fine. Um, sharing. Oh, last comments. I will throw in. I think, and we have to be careful with proper hearing and delivering of this. But somebody mentioned it, and I'm like, shit, I'm running with it. I don't know if it's a thing. I don't know if it's out there, but I think it should be a thing. I think we should move into an age of cultural appreciation to
Okay.
appreciate our fellow cultures around the world, to find value in how we connect with them. And I think
Right.
that should be a new aspect of our day to day consideration of living.
Hey, I like that idea. Yeah, just all like people always complain about cultural appropriation, so you're wanting to change that to appreciation.
Yes.
Gotcha. I like that, man. Yeah, I mean, like the whole I've never really understood that. If you want to dress like you're not hating on a culture because you want to dress like them. You're
No.
inspired by that culture. You
Yeah.
appreciate that culture. So that makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. I like
Yeah.
that.
I knew one dude. Sorry to keep going on. I knew one
No, it's all
dude.
good.
He liked to watch the movie. He'd watch a movie series or whatever, and he'd want to smoke the cigarettes and drink the beer. Or this one was that, and he'd want to have that, and Chinese food and that, or whatever. Like whatever he was watching or doing, he wanted to make his environment into that. And to be honest, at the time, I was like, "You're fucking stupid." But in all reality, the dude was onto something, and he was trying to immerse himself in that. He had no other way to connect with it. He was doing his
Right.
best to have his experience with that cultural or heritage or neighborhood or society, as he was trying to have his personal connection. He couldn't go visit that shit in the real life. So I in the long run, I learned from something from him, and I've utilized that in my life to progress my understanding of my fellow human.
That's awesome, dude. That's sick. Yeah, I like what you're saying there because I agree. Being in the cosplay community, it's like you got to be very careful about what you put on and like how you look. You can't like if who you cosplay to is a big thing because people can get
Mm.
heated about shit like that. So
Oh, I don't know if you can see. You probably can't, but I'm gonna try to bring this light out a little further without anything falling. But when you're mentioning cosplay, I don't know why this comes to mind, and I apologize for interrupting you, but
No, you're good.
um, I can feel it more than anything. So my hair actually comes like this and then goes like that. But
Oh,
all
your
of
facial
this,
hair?
yeah, but all of this hair is literally like growing in like Joe Dirt kind of just kind of like barely straggling in. And the
Right.
same on this side, it does it like that too. It comes down and comes all the way up like this shit, like that. And I'm like, whoa, if my shit came out and rolled up like that, like that would be one sick ass looking fucking fit. So I'm trying to grow out the Joe
That would
Dirt
be
look.
sweet.
So like it grows in like that, all redneck like too.
That'd be
Just
awesome.
naturally.
Dude, Joe Dirt cosplay. That'd be sick. You also, I don't know if you've seen One Piece. You could be oh, I can't even remember his name at the time, but he's got this cool like big ass sword with a cross on it, and he's kind of like a
Okay.
conquistador look to him. I'm like, you would be really like you'd look super cool
Yep.
as him.
I've got a sword. I've got my sword. I've got a spear. I've got a
Right.
shield.
Hey, you're
Yeah.
ready to go.
Yo,
Oh man.
I was literally walking into this flea market, and outside they had booths going through, and this kid reaches out. He doesn't reach out, but he tells me, he says, "You could have any one of these spears that you want." And I'm like, shit, your dad ain't gonna let me have a spear. I can't just take something. And his dad fucking walks up and he goes, "Here, you could have any spear you want." And I didn't grab one. He literally grabs this and hands it to me, bro. Literally just
What?
gave me a fucking spear.
A free
Like
spear? What the hell?
he saw me walking the way I'm dressed and everything, and the dude was like, he just gave me this fucking spear.
Dude, that's sick. He was like, this guy needs a spear right now, dude. That's awesome. Dang.
And there's one of my there's one of my invocations, and I had the sword, I had the shield, and it mentions all of these things in the invocations, and it said, and the spear behind me, and like a guard, a protection behind me. And so like the dude gave it, and that's just how the spirit works. It's literally handed me things in life, and it's like, boom, there's you go, that's for the next portion, that's what you needed, there you go. And so like people, they fixated on money or whatever, and this spirit, when you on the real path, it all works out. So again, I'll be happy we can do this every Friday or Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever the case you like. I'm happy to I'm happy. I got somebody else that wants me to do their podcast as well, and I think that would be really great to be able to be on a lot of these different
Yeah.
podcasts.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to keep doing this for sure. So, but
All right.
thanks again, dude. It was so much fun, and I will catch you later.
Cool. Many blessings, bro.
All right, later, dude. Oh, well, maybe not.